So UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia just took place last night, and this is my reaction to the entire card. So, there were 11 fights in total on the card with 4 stoppage victories. Let's start right away with the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. Now, Israel Adesanya's career is toast. It's curtains for this guy, in my opinion. Israel Adesanya needs to hang up the gloves before he ruins his legacy completely. Now, I know Israel Adesanya has said shit like he could lose 8 more fights and it wouldn't harm his legacy. It will. It really, really will. Like, if he loses again, it really will damage his legacy. If Adesanya doesn't retire now, I fear he's going to go down the same route of like an Anderson Silva, where he stays around too long and then ends up losing the levels of competition that he would have never lost to before. And then that just tarnishes his legacy. Like, all the good work he's done, people will forget about it because they'll look at the losses and the names that he's lost to. And that's not a disrespect to Imavov. Imavov is a real elite fighter, a top contender. But let's talk about the matchup. Look, round 1, I thought Adesanya looked good in there. I thought Adesanya done a good job for the most part of keeping Nassourdine Imavov at range, where Adesanya was doing his best work with his calf kicks, his body kicks, and he was throwing up the high kicks. I thought Adesanya looked good. I thought he showed some really, really improved takedown defense in there. Now, Israel Adesanya, me anyway, I've always known him to have great takedown defense against the cage, and he did show that again in this matchup. But what I was impressed with, especially in the opening round, even in the second round as well, he was still showing it, was Adesanya's ability to stuff the takedowns out in the open. I thought he'd done a really good job there, and at one point, it was as if he was going to reverse the position on Imavov and end up on top, but it didn't happen. But yeah, round 1, I thought Adesanya was doing a good job until Nassourdine Imavov caught him with that uppercut. That there was the big talking point in round 1. Nassourdine Imavov done a really good job of kind of following the game plan Sean Strickland kind of done, in a sense where he was constantly in Adesanya's face, just walking him down. He was just walking Adesanya down. I didn't realise Imavov was that big in the middleweight division, or Israel Adesanya shrunk, because I thought Adesanya would have a decent height advantage on him. Obviously, I know a quick Google search would have told me that, but for those who know, the UFC tend to lie about fighters' heights. But even at the weigh-ins, when I seen them, it kind of made me think, have I made the right prediction here? Because Imavov looked big in there, but when I seen Adesanya stuff the takedowns and be able to break away, clinch up with him and create space, I thought, right, this is it. Adesanya was showing, especially really early on, good distance management and working the kicks well. But then Nassourdine Imavov caught him with that big uppercut that visibly hurt Israel Adesanya near the end of the first round. And then going into the second round, Adesanya was buzzed by that shot. I've seen a lot of people online speculating, was that a big part to play in the Adesanya stoppage? Like, did Adesanya not recover from that, or what happened? I thought he was just buzzed off it. I thought that he was okay. Like, I didn't think, like, holy shit, he's on, like, chicken legs or anything like that. I thought visibly hurt, but kind of recovered. In the second round, Nassourdine Imavov had a good game plan in there. Let's just call it what it was. The way that he was just pressuring Israel Adesanya and constantly giving him that threat of the takedown. Even if he wasn't getting the takedowns, it was constantly having Israel Adesanya second guess. It really, really was. And that's what allowed Imavov to essentially utilise the tool that got him the win. And that was his hands, using his boxing. Israel Adesanya, I think Israel Adesanya, a problem for him coming in this matchup was he kind of overtrained the wrestling aspect. Like, I think Israel Adesanya just thought this was going to be an all-out wrestling matchup, and it wasn't that. Imavov isn't just an out-and-out wrestler. The guy can strike. The guy is really efficient with his striking, and eventually that's what happened. Imavov just pressured him, give him that threat of the takedown, which then had Adesanya constantly guessing, and Adesanya does tend to have his hands pretty low, and that allowed Imavov to come up and over with that right hand and rock Israel Adesanya's shit. Like, he hurt Israel Adesanya. He hit Israel Adesanya with that. He cracked him. Adesanya went down. Imavov, a lot of people are talking about the stoppage. Look, for me anyway, I think it was a perfectly fine stoppage. Adesanya was taking a lot of shots to the side of the head. Obviously, he wasn't building a base or getting up, but that's because Imavov was literally on top of him. But Israel Adesanya was just going to eat so many more shots there. I think the stoppage was correct. Israel Adesanya has since came out and said, fair enough. I thought it was a good stoppage from Mark Goddard, who does have some questionable stoppages. But that there isn't one of them, in my opinion. Now, does Nasirim Mamavov have an argument for having the title shot over Khamzat Chimaev? I think there's an argument to be had there. Look, I don't think it's going to happen at all. I really, really don't. I think they're obviously going to give it to Khamzat. He is the star. But Mamavov has done some really, really good work. He's on is he on a 4-fight win streak now? Roman Dolidze, Jared Cannonier, Brendan Allen, and now Israel Adesanya. Those are some really, really big wins that he has picked up, big names on his resume. I think Mamavov can do some serious damage in this division. And let's not forget, he was given Sean Strickland a tough matchup, which was a short notice matchup, which was up a couple of points from where Nasirim Mamavov had expected to fight at. And I thought he looked pretty decent in that Sean Strickland matchup. I think Adesanya has to call it quits now. I really do. I know, like, the glaze Adesanya gets went from commentary and from Dana White, who's just like, oh, he just got caught. One of those things, he just got caught. Adesanya, I think he just needs to call it quits. Like, I don't know what else is there for him. Like, I understood him having this matchup, because if he had to beat Mamavov, he's right back in there for a title shot, if not one win away, or the opportunity to have a big fight against the loser of DDP Strickland in a rematch, or sit out and fight the winner of Khamzat versus Sean Strickland or DDP. So I understood this matchup. I don't understand why continue now. I just don't get it. Like, you've done your work, you've created a really good legacy. Don't ruin it, which is a problem that a lot of fighters have. But yeah, what else I want to talk about? What about Israel Adesanya trying to have his Alex Pereira moment in there?
Bruh.
Getting eye poked by Mamavov and then like trying to like get Mark Goddard to step away, and then bro gets fucking dealt that hand. Crazy. Moving on to the co-main event, we have got One Eye Wonder being fraud checked and Shara Bullet Magomedov by MVP. Look, I thought Shara Bullet would have put up a better fight than that, to be honest. I thought if it had went to a decision, I could have seen them split decision in robbery and MVP and giving it to Shara Bullet. But you couldn't have even done that. Like, Shara Bullet played right into MVP's hands. I think this is another case of, if you don't offer anything else other than striking against MVP, you're gonna lose. I don't think you're gonna outstrike this guy. We have never seen a guy who moves like this before. His striking is so unorthodox. The way this guy moves, we've never seen it before in MMA. Now, I thought Shara Bullet would have done a better job of targeting MVP's lower half of his body with the leg kicks, inside outside kicks, because Shara Bullet normally does flick out kicks really well. But it was as if, like, once the first exchange happened where MVP caught him with that overhand right and kind of swept Shara Bullet, it's as if he was just kind of scared to engage. And Shara Bullet is a high level kickboxer. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. Shara Bullet is a high level kickboxer, and he really could not figure out the puzzle that is MVP. Now, MVP clearly won this matchup, in my opinion. Obviously, this is MVP's first fight up at the middleweight division. He did visibly slow down in round 3. It wasn't a bladed stance. It wasn't in and out movements anymore. He was visibly slowing down in there. But, like, Shara Bullet, I know he's not a known grappler. I understand that. But you're being beaten up on the feet. Like, you're playing right into this guy's hands, and you don't even attempt a takedown. I understand that's not part of his game, but, like, give him something. At least clinch up with the guy. Try and look for a trip. Try and hold him against the cage. Try and do something. Like, at the end of the day, Shara Bullet is the middleweight in this matchup. MVP is the welterweight, although it didn't really look like that, because MVP, in my opinion, looked bigger than what Shara Bullet did in there. Well, yeah, what a shit performance from Shara. Either it's a really shit performance from him, it just wasn't his night, it was an off night, or MVP striking is just that good. I think it might be the MVP striking is just that good. What's next for both guys? Shara's going to fight an unranked opponent at the next Abu Dhabi Saudi show, get a win, and then everyone's going to love him again. What's next for MVP? He says he's going back down to welterweight. Stick him versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson as the feature fight, the UFC Fight Night London. Like, he took no damage in there. I'm sure he'd want to fight in London. It's a big enough card with the likes of Leon Edwards on it. You've obviously got former champion Jan Blachowicz on it. It does have a lot of good prospects or good English names on it. But MVP versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson would just be a really epic feature fight, in my opinion, that I think should be made. Moving on to the feature fight. What a fucking stinker this was.
Bruh.
Tom Aspinall beat the fuck out of this guy, and then so did Volkov, and they have altered the brain chemistry of Sergey Pavlovich. Like, what was that matchup? Since when did bro become a wrestler? Like, I thought Sergey Pavlovich was going to go out there with a lot of spite in him in there and look to try and put Jairzinho Rozenstruik out to try and make a statement to say that he is back. Like, I remember people were saying Sergey Pavlovich was the white version of Francis Ngannou. I also remember people saying Sergey Pavlovich would have given John Jones a tough test. Like, I don't understand what's happened to this guy. His brain chemistry has been completely altered by Volkov and Tom Aspinall. Look, Jairzinho, I think he could have won this matchup. Like, a lot of people were saying, look how good Pavlovich's boxing was. I didn't really see it, to be honest. Like, he landed the better shots. Obviously, he caught Jairzinho in the chest that looked like he dropped him. But Jairzinho offered nothing. Like, I think if Jairzinho had just been more active, like, we've seen Jairzinho's jab bust open Sergey Pavlovich. It busted up his nose. I don't understand why Jairzinho wasn't constantly just tapping with the inside-outside kicks, working that jab, even jab to the chest, jab to the body. I think if Jairzinho had have thrown more, I think Jairzinho would have won this matchup. Obviously, the fact that when he got taken down, it's as if he had no idea what he was doing. But even on the feet, like, total strikes, 23 in the entire fight.
Bruh.
He offered nothing. I honestly think if Jairzinho had offered up more volume, he would have beaten Sergey Pavlovich. Now, what's next? I want to see Ciryl Gane Pavlovich because I want to see Ciryl Gane style on him. I'm just going to be honest. That's what I want. What's next for Jairzinho? I have no idea. That was a really shit performance. That fight was awful. Moving on, we've got Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. This one right here was a really fun one. Vinicius Oliveira is such a fun fighter to watch, and so is Said Nurmagomedov. Now, unfortunately for Said Nurmagomedov, he's going to be banished from the cliff, so he's going to be living somewhere else with Umar Nurmagomedov after letting down the name again, even though I don't think they're related. But yeah, Vinicius Oliveira, Said Nurmagomedov started off just a lot of spinny shit, to be honest. Said caught him with that spinning back kick that Vinicius Oliveira kind of ducked into that put him down. Said kind of went in there with a more wrestling heavy approach. He shot 9 takedowns in there. Vinicius Oliveira is fucking massive for this division.
Bruh.
He is really, really big for this division. Both guys visibly gassed out near the end. I thought the right man won in the end. I thought Vinicius Oliveira, especially in rounds 2 and round 3, done the better work, and I thought he deserved to get his hand raised, although I was kind of suspect that because of this guy's name, they were going to do Vinicius Oliveira out of this decision, but I thought it was pretty clear 2 rounds to 1 in my opinion anyway, that Vinicius Oliveira did get the job done. I'm looking forward to seeing this guy jump up the rankings, maybe give him the likes of a Mario Batista next, so he can do God's work and get rid of him. That's just an option. He did call out Umar. That would be a really fun fight to see. That's like the bantamweight version of fucking Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira. This was a fun fight. This was a really fun fight. Then we have Fressian versus Mike Davis. Another fight that kind of ended up pretty brutal. Both guys busted up really bad. Mike Davis looked shit at the start of this matchup. Fressian is a problem. This guy's strong in there. This guy is really well rounded. From when you go back and look at some of his other fights where he was easily taken down to this fight right here, and he was being taken down against lesser opposition than Mike Davis. Now, Mike Davis doesn't fight often. This guy probably won't make an appearance to 2028, but
Bruh.
even then, he's a really high-level mixed martial artist. Fressian has really made some massive, massive improvements in his game, and I think this guy can go pretty far in the UFC's lightweight rankings. I'm looking forward to seeing who he matches up with next. Maybe you could have like a massive fight over in France in a co-main event. Fressian, Benoit Saint-Denis, and then have Pavlovich, Gane, or Almeida Gane in the main event. That's a possibility, but this guy's definitely someone to watch out for in the UFC's lightweight division. And moving on to the prelims, Muhammad Naimov got a win over Ofli. Not really much to say there. Shamil Gaziev, the GOAT. Thomas Peterson was actually looking good in there. I mean, I found it funny how they kept referencing the fact that he's been watching Usyk and Fury to help him in preparation for this matchup. But yeah, I mean, I thought Peterson was doing a good job at the start. Obviously, he took down Shamil Gaziev. But Shamil Gaziev with that one-punch power, he put him down. He caught him with the right hand. That was it. One punch, put him down. That was it over. Shamil Gaziev, don't be surprised if this guy's ranked top 10 by the end of the year. which is crazy because he looks so shit in there and so fat and out of shape. Like, I'd love to know what this guy looked like when he was playing like professional volleyball. Just a random one. Like, how the fuck's this guy a pro athlete? But nonetheless, KO'd him in the first round. Terence McKinney got a first round KO over Damir Hadzovic. Knew it was coming. I mean, Damir. Just cut the guy. He's not UFC material. Jasmine Judavicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. I thought Bueno Silva was going to get the job done here. Jasmine Judavicius, she's actually someone to look out for in the women's flyweight division. She's on a bit of a sneaky run at the minute. Got some good names on her resume and looked good in this matchup against a former title challenger. Moving on, Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. Bogdan Grad getting a nice KO on his UFC debut, looked good in there. And Hamdi Abdewalbi, the Wahhabi, I can't say that guy's fucking name. But anyway, against Jamal Pogues, that there was a robbery of the highest degree. Let's just call it what it was. Overall, UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia was a fun one at parts and a stinker at other parts. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. What's next for Adesanya? Yeah, just let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you again in the next one.